Hello, my name is Howell, and you are welcome to Moments with Reality. Today, I would like us to talk about walls. Walls play very important and significant role in the life of human beings, especially. Now, there are different kinds and type of walls. Walls are made up of, as you can see, this one is made up of quarry stones, some are made up of cement blocks, and so on. Some are made up of plants like bougainvillea, some are made up of metals. But whatever they are made up of, walls do speak to quite a number of things. Now, before then, we have dwarf walls, medium walls, and very high walls like the walls around prisons. And we are told that those who build high walls invite trouble. Now, there are two parts or two sides of this wall: those who live inside the wall and those who live outside. Those who live inside the wall are telling those outside that we want to be left alone. We do not want any disturbances. We want our privacy. If you want to come inside of the wall, you have to knock or go through our gates, and we have to open the gates for you. We are told also that those who go into the house through any other means except the gate are thieves and robbers. So people can jump over the wall into the house uninvited. Now, inside the house also, the whole house itself is a walled entity. And inside the house itself, we have walls that demarcate various parts of the house. So, for example, we have the kitchen, we have the living room, the bedroom, the washroom, and so on and so forth. Now, historically, walls rise and fall. For example, we know of the wall of Jericho that was built and miraculously fell. We also remember the wall, the Berlin Wall, that separated West and East Germany and eventually also fell. However, we have walls that have been built and they are still standing. We have the Great Wall of China, which is still standing. And we also have wall that divides, for example, the North from South Korea. So there are walls that are still existing. Interestingly, walls are still being built, and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, we also have what we call social walls. And social walls, I'm referring to class. Sometimes you go to a particular university and that puts you automatically in a certain class of people. Now, if you don't go to university also, it puts you also in another class of people altogether. Now, again, there are people who also go to some kind of universities and they also are put in another class. So if you don't belong to the alumni of that particular university, you are not entitled to certain privileges. We also have walls called tribe. Some tribes consider themselves as more superior to other tribes. You have clans also, which is also another social wall. So walls do exist in various forms and various aspects. However, the most important wall that I want to zero in on is what I refer to as the mental walls. Mental wall, for example, is fear, the wall of fear. This fear, you and I know, is imaginary, and it stops you from doing what you're supposed to do. Another wall that is mental is inferiority complex. You think that you are lower than somebody else, and therefore you think that you are not entitled to what other human beings are entitled to. Now, these walls, or whether they are fear of inferiority complex, one thing they do is to stop you from living your full potential as a human being. And therefore, if you do not deal with it, you will not be able to live life to the full. There is no human being that is not created in the image of God. It is we human beings that create and put up these walls and decide that you do not belong to us, and therefore you are not entitled to certain privileges that belong to us. But these are walls that can collapse. Like I said, walls rise and they fall. And therefore, if physical walls can rise and fall, then the social walls can also rise and fall, and especially the mental walls rise. And you have the responsibility to make sure that they fall in your life so that you can shift from fear to faith, from being inferior to be superior, or be equal with any other human being that is created in the image and the likeness of God. You have the responsibility to identify your mental walls and deal with them ruthlessly. Otherwise, you will never experience the fullness of life that we all have been given. We have been told that we have been given everything that pertains to life and godliness. But those mental walls can stop you from living your God-given full potential and abilities. It is my prayer that you'll be able to identify your mental walls and deal with them so that you become a benefit, a huge benefit to society, so that people will draw from you the living water that lies inside of you. God bless you.